ASMR. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome back, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sunny, mostly just follow players that they're interested in. And so my son loves Saquon Barkley, He loves Saquon Barkley. We even got him a t-shirt for Christmas that was like a drawing of Saquon's backwards hurdle. That was like a highlight of this year. I don't remember what game. I don't remember those kinds of details. My son could probably tell you though, because that is the level of detail that he remembers. He will remember specific plays with specific players from specific games. That is the level of detail that we're talking here. So, he obviously was rooting for the Eagles to beat the... I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if they were playing the Rams or the Chargers. I think it was the Chargers. Clearly, I do not hold the same level of interest as they do. Now, college I have a little bit more interest in, so I am a little bit more aware of what's going on in college football. But he was excited when the Eagles won, and now they are watching the Ravens, and the Bills. And I like both of those teams a lot. So do my husband and my partner, or no, my husband and my son. But I think my son is rooting for the Ravens to win because he loves Lamar Jackson and he loves Derrick Henry. And Lamar Jackson and say flowers. So we've been watching a lot of football. Same with college as we get close to the championship. We've been watching a lot of the games just because they're playoff games as opposed to like just watching one particular team that we're interested in. And I think I mentioned in a previous like what I've been watching video that my partner and I watched the Yellowstone prequels. We watched the Yellowstone prequels. The prequels, which is 1883. I hope I'm remembering that right. It's been like a year now since we watched them. Whoopsies. 1883. That one stars Tim McGraw and Faith Hill. In 1923. That one has Helen Mirren and Harrison Ford. And Brendan's, I don't know how to say his last name, is Gilner. But we watched those like a year ago, and originally we wanted to watch Yellowstone first, but they split up which platform the prequels and the original show were on. And at the time, we had access to the platform that had the prequels and not the platform that had the original show. But now we finally have access to the platform that has Yellowstone on it. And now that the show has finished, we have started it. And by started it, I mean we have binged it, and we are on season 3. Not 1, not 2, but 3. Season 3. And I should